What a beautiful day. Fantastic day for going on a trip. Let me show you the bag situation. Next is then just to put on my gear and go. I just have to return here to turn off the camera and put it back into the garage. And I think I'll switch over to my summer gloves. Whew, hot, really hot. Can't complain, really. I'm really sorry, but I have to admit the ending on my previous video, it was totally fake. This is the real start of the journey. I had to repack, forgot to bring along my tripod. Now is the real start of the trip. I will be going now from the coast here in Norway to east. Drive a couple of hours and then I'll let you know how this goes. Hope to be lucky.
This is me and my motorcycle. And this is Thomas and his motorcycle. We have decided to go on a road trip this spring. His Yamaha Tenere is in excellent condition. My old Cagiva, not so much. I have a long list of things I need to do. Can I manage to get it fixed in time to the trip?
Yes, recording. 1 hour into the trip. And hello there. It became a bit cold, so I'm just driving with my t-shirt. It's a lot of tall mountains here, so the bike has performed flawlessly, by the way. Previously, I have felt some times that the bike is skipping a beat, as I say, heartbeat, like it gets a boom, small, short misfire or what to say, and that's gone. That's totally gone. So maybe me just going over all the wires, using a relay to get better power to the coils. Maybe it has helped, at least run very nice. And also I'm very happy with the bags, because when I loosen up the clamps here, it like falls a bit outwards, so it's easy to get access. I will actually not plug in my heater jacket, just use it as a jacket. It's a lot of tunnels also coming up. They are a bit cold. So maybe I should show you a bit around the scenery here. I'll just jump on the bike and continue the ride. My speedometer stopped working, and I'm pretty sure it's this drive unit, that's the cable, the wire is connected to, that is broken. I can see a lot of metal debris here. Yeah, so first problem already, and this is all my fault. When I replaced the tire, I lubricated this, and I've used silicone. I was told that is better than using oil-based grease, but it was probably too thin, or the mix of those type of lubricant didn't match. I don't know, but this is not good at all. Status updates, my tripod, and I just snapped off these pieces using my pliers, so now we can go freely. Okay, I'm not sure if this is safe. That was the first problem. I have still 2.5 hours to drive, so I wonder if this can be an alright fix. Mosquitoes are eating me. I better get moving. Quite a beautiful evening, but it's starting to get late and it's starting to get a bit chill. That means it's time for me to test my heated jacket. And I've done the genius thing of putting the cable under the seat, so I can just flip up the seat, take it out, except luggage. Need to take it off. These reasonable priced bags from Exomoto, thumbs up from me so far. I must say, it didn't take too long. So far, the trip has been nice. What I've learned is that now I'm on my 5th hour, or I have 1 hour left of the trip, so I've ridden 4 hours, 1 hour remaining. I'm not used to driving so far, so I'm aching a bit my back. So I started to stand much more when it's a low speed limit, 60 kilometers per hour, then I'm standing. So, and then I'm sitting when it's 80. And then I get a bit more variation, and then the aching has stopped. And I should probably have done that from the start. That's something I must remember. So I'm not sitting in the same position all the time. This one, speedometer delete, it's just not functional anymore. I have an idea what to do there. So no, neither my speedometer or my tachometer, the rev counter, none of them are working. But my tablet, using Google Maps, have a speedometer built in using the GPS. So I'm using that. Okay. I've arrived at the destination. Almost success, just one small problem happened at the last moment. I got to borrow the shed here, and I actually lost my brakes, rear brakes, at the end of the trip, and yeah, you can see it. It's just fallen off. And accidentally, the bolts are still here, but the nut has fallen off. Yeah, so that is when what happens when you don't use lock nuts. Never do that. Either you need a contra nut, 2 nuts tied together, or a lock nut, or Loctite, something to lock the nuts. Because motorcycle is vibrating, the engine is vibrating, and a regular nut can come loose, as it did. And it's nice to have the rear brake, so I'll see if I can track down a couple of, is it M5 nuts, and repair it. Really lucky this time. The ones I'm visiting here had the exact correct lock nuts, which I should have had all the time. And I had brought along the exact correct tool for once with the trip. So now I even got rear brakes for my home trip. Besides that, it has been a joy to drive this motorcycle. It's a dream. I even have to brag about catching up on 2 Harley riders, past them. And the rear brakes are fixed. Just went on a test ride. Yes. Perfect. One new issue discovered. I have a small fuel leak. It's not that dangerous, is it? Seems to be from this carburetor on the left side, so that is from the vertical cylinder or the rear cylinder, or the upraised one. I noticed it was dripping a bit here. It was wet. Not all the time, but maybe it actually overflows. I'm not sure. I misjudged the fuel consumption. 0.75 is what it uses, liters per 10 kilometers. And so luckily I met some cabin owners here, and I managed to buy some fuel I had bought for his lawnmower. So yeah, I got 4 extra liters so I can get to the nearest gas station. People are so nice here. Fantastic. I don't even know really where I am. A bit strange, the signs looks to be upside down, so I'm in the upside down country. Filled almost 15 liters. This tank is 18, so I had only 3 liters remaining now, and I bought 4 liters of this nice guy up the cabin, so I definitely needed that. Now I need to tie up. This one is a bit low. It's pressing on the side cover here, you can see. Still learning, improving how to tie up the luggage. One of the clamps broke, tied it a bit too hard, but I figured another way to fasten it. But some of the smallest plastic clamp is a bit weak. Try to replace some of the smallest one with metal, I think. And also pre-adjust more of the straps, because yeah, it takes a while taking all the straps off and then all the straps on again when you're putting back the luggage, and it's just a bunch of straps that can be used in different ways. So having more fixed that fit to the bike and my setup will be much better. But all in all, kept all my clothes dry. Not been much rain, just small drops here and there. So I'll definitely still continue with my plan. Buy 1 extra of this. The bike, beautiful to drive, ride. Love it. I have plotted in the next destination. It's Uppdal, here in Norway. Up valley. Yeah, that's the up valley. 2 hours, 9 minutes. Decent roads, straight ahead. Halfway home, the gas station, filled up the tank again. This time I measured it, 10 liters exactly for driving 150 kilometers. Parked alongside a lot of Beamers, BMWs 1200 GS. I have to say they are a bit more beefy than my small one, 750. But I think maybe my luggage system is much more compact. And I do have a proper tent for 3 people, sleeping bag, inflatable mattress, and I have even a footprint. And I have a lot of clothes, a lot of camera gears. If you see these gears, it's quite a big, have to be a bit top heavy compared to mine. 2 hours remaining before I'm back in my garage. Actually I had to beef up the heat to the yellow one this time. It was a bit colder. It's so warm and delicious with this jacket. The warmest level. I don't even know how warm that is gonna be. Okay, next journey. That was just a great trip. I'm back home, and I have to say, my first adventure trip ever. Thumbs up. Top score for the bike. The engine was working flawlessly, except a small gas leak. I had a couple of issues during the trip. All in all, I came back in one piece. Had some rain. It was a bit cold, especially through some tunnels. One of them was 6 kilometers long, and the heated jacket, just check the description where I bought mine, and I highly recommend you to just run and buy one. $300, 3,300 Norwegian kroner, totally worth it. And my riding gear, almost everything I have is bought used, even the helmet, jacket, trouser, except this heated jacket is brand new, but yeah, not really expensive, so this doesn't have to cost a fortune. The experience you get is quite enormous. And the bag system, thumbs up, so top score, everything. Not so top score about the mechanic who didn't use Loctite or self-locking nuts. You have to go over all the bolts and the nuts and make sure they don't come loose on my next trip. The tires worked smoothly. Had some quite a rough gravel roads, and the bike really performed well. As you can see, I'm satisfied. And in my next video I will do all the improvements I now have experienced I need to do and continue on my task list. Still I have some 20 tasks to do. It's the next day, next evening actually. I have taken off the luggage today, washed it, cleaned the bike, and yeah, you might wonder what's about this indicator that is not very good. What I didn't know was that the bolt that holds the indicator, I knew it, I just didn't think about it. The bolt that holds the indicator also holds the whole fairing. Like this is the main mount for holding the fairing. And when I was driving on the gravel road, a pretty rough gravel road, a lot of vibrations, the nut was unscrewed and it fell off, and the whole front part of the fairing was very much vibrating. And the problem, if I tightening these bolts too much, it's just rubber here and it just pops off the indicator. Not very solid, and it's the wrong style. I thought they were cool. I even 3D printed the adapter here, but I have bought new ones I think will be better. And if you take a look at this, they actually have the mounting hole at the side here. So I have an idea how to do this. I also prepared a new task list. The topmost tasks now are the new ones that came from the trip. First of them is the indicators, replacing them, and also then making better mount for the fairing. Next one is the speedometer. It's not working anymore because the drive unit failed. The tachometer is, the rev counter is also not working on this bike because the cable is broken. I think I'll try to replace this with a digital solution, self-made actually. I'm working on a motorcycle computer for my cafe racer, and I think actually I can use the same concept for this bike. I had one issue with the tablet. It was a bit low when I mounted it on the handlebar. I would like to have it a bit higher, so when you're driving you can look, just tilt the eyes a bit downwards to get the map in sight. I needed to tilt my whole head because it was too low on the bike. And another thing is, of course, all the bolts and nuts and screws that came loose because of vibrations like this one. Yeah, I really need to use lock nuts or Loctite and go over all the bolts and make sure they are not getting loose. And then it was the fuel leak. That's not good when the carburetor is directly above the cylinders. And this is an air-cooled motorcycle, so the cylinders, yeah, they are pretty hot. And I don't want it to leak fuel directly onto them. So I really need to rebuild the carburetors. Now in total I have 25 tasks to do before my motorcycle is in decent shape. 10 of those are important, 15 are more like I want to do them, not really needed for the quality side of the bike. At least I really need to do the 10 important tasks before I go on my next big trip. Hope then the bike is a bit more reliable. Alright, that's it for this episode. Number 10, if I remember correctly. And I just noticed that even though I've done a lot of tasks, I have even more tasks remaining. compared to what I've done, so I think it will take us some while before the bike is done. Nice of you to follow along, and I hope to see you again in the next episode. Bye bye! So